Hello and welcome, everyone. Nikki and I are honored to have you with us today. Hello, Nikki.
Hello, Ava.
So, we're honored to have you here for another powerful Growth Mindset Collective session. So, today's theme is one that invites us to pause, to turn inward, and to remember something that so often gets buried beneath the noise of the world. You are already wealthy. We live in a world that often tells us we need to have more, do more, be more to feel valuable. But the truth is, the greatest form of wealth is not found in your titles or possessions, but in your energy, your growth, your wisdom, and your presence. So, together, we'll explore what it means to reconnect with that inherent wealth, the abundance that lives within you that no one can take and that grows the more you embrace it. So, Nikki, tell us more. What do you have for us today? I'm always eager to hear from you what you have for us.
Yay. Thank you. I want to mention before we get started here, like your inherent wealth encompasses a lot of things, and it also includes you emotionally, intellectually, and you spiritually, and you have spiritual abundance as well. And it's very important that you bring that into the equation. A lot of times for this kind of thing, a lot of your mindset mentors will take you to applying the laws of the universe, such as the law of attraction and the law of vacuum, the vacuum law of prosperity, because you need to get a shift in your mindset. You need to be able to visualize your goals. You need to be taking action. But the thing is we don't want to be psychoanalytical, and we don't want to get into like what's wrong with me. We just want to live within a certain area, and we want to expand and grow. There's nothing wrong with us. We've been inherently blessed. As Ava said, we have abundance. We are wealthy. We just have to figure out how to do it. And the easiest way to do it without throwing in our baggage or having to unpack a lot of things that are unnecessary and take more time is just to live, to learn to live and obey and have faith within the laws. And that is, attraction being a big one, because we know through The Secret how many millions, or did we go into billions of people that we touched with that. It caused critical thinking and a certain awareness of us. And, we have magnetism, we have the law of attraction. We live in an environment where we know the sun's going to come up, the sun's going to go down, the moon's going to come up, the moon's going to go down, the ebb and the tide flow. Everything is happening here, and these are all the laws of the universe. And if we just polished a little bit of ourselves a little more, and even if we're going to say pace ourselves on a slower trajectory, if we just moved ourselves 1%, and we were in New York City and we were trying to get to California, if we changed our trajectory just 1%, we'd never make it to California. There'd be a big change there, and every day and casually. So we don't have to beat ourselves up in any kind of manners either. So we want to have our focus on our strengths, what we're good at. We want to have our goals totally set with total clarity. Like when you decide, I'm going to learn to get my license, there's total clarity there. When you decide you want to go to school, there's total clarity there. We have to get into the habit of, when we're coming down to growing and developing our inherent wealth, that we have the vision of the move forward. We have to have clarity in that vision as well. And we do that by changing our thoughts and our beliefs. And then we can transform our external reality. But first, we have to start inward. Right, Ava?
That's right. I love it. And Everything you said is definitely 100%. What else you have for me? Because I know you have more.
What? Yes, I do. Of course. I was thinking, I always prayed out. And I always meditate afterward to learn what I should be saying here so that I could tune in to the people and the vibes and the status of the minds and beings. And I came up with like 6 pages. So I'll just have to choose a few things to share with you today.
And
If
that's
you
why I'm
want,
pushing you, Nikki, because I know she's got lots today. So that's why I give her control of this. And so that's was Nikki. And of course, I'll throw in my 2 cents here and there, but I
yes,
always
please
love
do.
hearing you.
Okay, so let me lay it down. Let me lay out this part, and then I'll try and jump into the next part, the last part, and see if we've got enough time. One thing, what's the important of prosperity? Say that fast. What's the importance of personal prosperity? And personal prosperity is a crucial element for living a fulfilling and abundant life. It's absolutely, absolutely important. Personal prosperity is not just a financial wealth thing, but it's also emotional, intellectual, spiritual well-being, right? So here are the key points to modify and start living under or encompassing your emotional intellect and your spiritualness. First, realize that realize your foundation for success. Personal prosperity begins with the mindset of abundance. Now, what I was teaching my students this last week. If you're thinking about today, you're late. You're already late. When you're in a mindset of abundance, you have to be looking forward. Today is the day for doing your best, for living in the moment, for doing everything you have to. You don't have yesterday, you don't have tomorrow. You only have today, and you have to do the best you can in today. But mindset for abundance, you have to have forward looking. You can't be looking at, let's say, let's compare that to getting a grade. You can't be looking at your B grade and go, okay, we're going to go from the B and we're going to go here, because what we're trying to do is make a difference in the lowest form of yourself, which is the life you live right here. We want to bring up we want to bring into the equation your higher self, your individualism, your intellect, your knowledge, your gifts, your ability, your strength, and that all comes in from the inside out. So it's kind of, for a lot of us, it's like working in reverse. So we have to have a mindset of abundance. And this allows the individual, you, to focus on your strengths and your potentials, what you can do today, enabling them to achieve your goal and to live the life that you desire. So it's a little tricky. You have to live it today. You have to go fast, but don't run, because once you start running and feeling a pressure, you're in competition. You're not creativity.
Yeah.
And
So I want to jump in and ask you something because you mentioned something really important there. People are working from reverse. So can you elaborate on like why? Like obviously we know, but I want to get into that. Why do people work in reverse a lot of times?
it's how we were brought up. Most of the population is brought up by becoming aware of environment and responding. Become, even when you're little, your parents say, okay, go play outside, but pay attention to the others and do like they're doing, so you can get along and not feel bad or not feel like you're lagging behind or anything. Like that's a mindset that we've been working from the lower part of ourselves, and we just got into the habit. We got comfortable. It's a familiar place.
Exactly. Yeah, that's why I wanted to cover that in more in depth because it stems from childhood and from past things, right? And we tend to forget that And we, for the most part, we react instead of respond to things because that's how we brought up as a sometimes society, as a humanity in general, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. And, it kind of causes us to get sucked in
Yeah.
into things and we lose our identity, really.
Yes. And I find out a lot of that nowadays, especially because we're so busy. We want to fit in. There's 101 things out there. I want to fit here. I want to do this. I want to look like that. And I've seen all that, and I see it all around me. So people forget because they're kind of like mostly out there. A lot of
Yes.
people don't work on the inside, and they wonder why they're depressed. Why all of a sudden, oh, she's got more. Oh, I'm not worthy. Like all these things start coming up, and then we do lose track of who we are on the inside. And I feel like we really have to go back to the inner self and work from inside out once again because we are forgetting as a humanity. That's why there's so many things going on out there. But anyhow, I just want to kind of go into that more in depth. Go ahead. I know I
Yeah.
interrupted you, so go ahead, Nikki.
That whole big picture is a bit of a trap. It's like a half truth or a half serving you, but doesn't ever take you to something of fulfillment or something healthy enough to cause you to get to start being the cream that rises to the top when it comes to creating your inherent wealth, however that may be. So, we need a mental awareness. Um, Prosperity consciousness is essential for attracting wealth and success. When you decided you were going to get your license, getting your license consciousness was essential for attracting and getting your license. When you decided you were going to have a baby, there's a lot of dynamic shift that has to happen in your consciousness to essentially become successful at one, making a baby and having a baby, and for attracting that kind of success. It's no different with money. You have the skills, you just want to be transferring the skills and becoming more polished in the laws that I mentioned. So visualize yourself as prosperous and holding these positive thoughts that you align with the universe, the universal laws, and bring abundance into your life. It sounds easy, but it isn't because the first thought in the morning when you get up, right, Ava, it could be the wrong thought. It could be the wrong mood. It could be an old thought. And that kind of paces your day, whether you like it or not. That becomes a reality, right?
That is so true. And I found myself throughout the actually recent years actually shifting quite a bit in that field because in the morning I would, how they say, you stab your toe and your whole day is ruined or your coffee spills and I used to be that person, believe it or not, that one thing would trigger me off and off I went for like hours sometimes. And I'm glad to say it doesn't happen anymore because right away when I wake up in the morning, I've trained myself, I've practiced enough that when I wake up, I don't touch my phone, turn off the alarm if sometimes I wake up before and I do my because everybody's different. One person can do meditation, one can do journaling, whatever works for you, right? You have to come to that point where you know what works for you, what doesn't. And I do my don't want to call it ritual, but I do my steps.
Mhm.
Gets me through the day so much easier, so much better. I am aligned with a better version of myself instead of spiraling first thing in the morning, and it makes a huge difference. It does.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm just going to talk about something now, and then I think we are coming up to the finish. I'm not sure. But a lot of people that are trying to do as Ava and I do, we teach mindset and we do some publishing. And to be successful, there still is like a 95% rate of people who are not, they're making an effort to move into their inherent wealth, but they're not being successful at it. And I want to urge you to hear what we're saying because mindset is an absolute key to your success. And you have to have that uh, held and continued state of being. It's hard to do, as you hear from both of us. We're both talking from experience, from stumbling, from growth, and how it took us time to get there. So even though, let's say, you're in health, or you're in publishing, or you're in AI, or whatever, you still need a program or a mentor in mindset to keep you steady and to keep you going. When you talk to the highest people, our highest people, um, are movers and shakers here, and a lot of very successful people, they will tell you they have a coach all the time. They have a mentor all the time. That's how they stay on track. That's part of the secret. Um, you have to be willing to make a small investment, to make your investment back through the business that you're looking for. Like, you really need somebody like Ava and myself, or whoever you really gravitate to be keeping you on the straight and narrow as far as improvement for quality of life is concerned, as far as understanding your freedom from limitations are concerned, so you can stay steadfast and grow in the business you want to. There's way, way, way too many small business people right now failing because they're not looking at, they spend they, let's say they spend $10,000 in a group, in a mindset program, and then you get that program forever or whatever, and you think, okay, I've done my part, I've done this, now I'm going to go and do these other things. It doesn't work that way. You have to have, you have to continue to keep your consciousness, your mindset consciousness for the success of your business. And you have to keep applying to yourself. You have to give to yourself first. Talking about, I think it was the Greeks, um, Ava, they knew this and they paid themselves first.
Mm-hmm.
That's why
Yes.
they were so wealthy before. Like, you have to pay yourself first. And the way you can do it here and make yourself successful and not be one of those statistics where you're not making it is by following somebody like myself or Ava or who else you think resonates with your character, with your manner of understanding and speaking and representation.
Yeah.
You, you really can't do it yourself.
No, and I'd like to I love sharing my personal actually experience in this too, because when I signed up for Bob Proctor's program originally, I told him like there's a lot of programs out there. And I told him, I said, you know what, I can read, I can write, but I need a mentor. And that's why I sign up for the program. I can sit there over the thing, but the thing is, if you don't have somebody who pushes you to strive for better, who's not your accountability partner, like if you don't have one or a mentor, I don't know if you're gonna get far if you don't have that discipline. I know I wouldn't have, because I would have gave up probably on the first turn when things were, I cried, I laughed when I did the program at the beginning. I was ready to throw in a towel. It's like my coach says, no, keep going. You're not gonna get anywhere if you don't start working from within. And as hard as it was at the beginning, I had to go through that. But if my coach wasn't there, and then later my accountability partners, and I actually had two, um, I don't think I would be here doing as well as I'm doing and doing things I never thought I would imagine doing, because I didn't push myself at that time. I didn't believe in myself at that time. So what
Mhm.
Nikki said, all that is absolutely right. In order to move forward in life, you have to continue growing, expanding, having that mentor, having that coach, accountability partner to get you through the times when you really need it, and continue. I have
Mhm.
mentors up until now, and coaches.
Mhm.
Just because I'm a coach doesn't mean I don't need one. I need one too, because I'm pushing myself now to mastery. I used to always dabble in things. Okay, I'll do this. Okay, I'll leave that. No, it's like I made a decision now to master something. Um, sometimes we try things and that's okay. You might find out it's not for you, but that's okay. As long as you keep going, you'll find your thing, pursue it, stick to it, master it, take it as
Hmm.
high as you can. Yeah,
Hmm.
it's
Yeah.
really important.
Yeah. So let's admit here that if you were to get to know some of these mentors that we have and these wonderful, wonderful people, you would find that they're no better than you. They just have been around longer than you. If you take your personal inventory, you'll find out that you are very good and you are very worthy of all the success and all the inherent wealth you are meant to have or you can take in this life or create in this life while you're, in the short lifetime. So just honestly, when you turn this off, one, celebrate yourself because you're a very awesome person. And two, realize deep down, honestly, admit to yourself, you're a nice person. You're a good person. Your intentions are right. You're on the right track. You can do this just as well as anybody else can.
Exactly. I love that. So, as we unfortunately do have to wrap up, Nikki and I would like to say thank you very much for joining us today. And remember this, inherit wealth, and health is not something you need to earn, it's something you were born with. It lives within your story, your spirit, your resilience, your heart. You don't need permission to access it. You only need presence and belief. So, Nikki and I will have another topic coming up. Stay tuned because we will announce what the next one is in about 2 weeks. Until then, I hope you guys enjoy this session with us and have a beautiful day. And Nikki, thank you so much for joining me once again. And thank you so much for all your brilliance.
Yeah, thank you. It's more like passion.
Brilliance, passion, great mix. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a beautiful day. Thank you.